Whoa. Bible high, puts it down, and then he lies. You know, he's a liar. I never met a liar like him. I met a lot tougher people than him, but I never met a guy that lied as much.
My message to Donald Trump and his team is your views of Islam are ignorant.
All right. Well, when he won, I wished him well. Now, I don't care about him. I mean, it doesn't make any difference to me about him. Let's see how he does. I mean, let's see if he's a good mayor.
Are you offended by what he said?
Yeah, I am, because he doesn't know me, never met me, doesn't know what I'm all about. I think they're very rude statements, and frankly, tell him I will remember those statements. They're very nasty statements.
Would you like David
When
Cameron,
it was brought up,
would
no.
you like him to withdraw the particular comments that you're stupid, divisive, and wrong with your view about Muslims?
Well, number one, I'm not stupid, okay? I can tell you that right now. Just the opposite. Number two, in terms of divisive, I don't think I'm a divisive person. I'm a unifier. Unlike our president now, I'm a unifier.
I love the media. They're so honest. They're such honorable people. It's about time I said that, right? Backed Mitt Romney. I backed him. You can see how loyal he is. He was begging for my endorsement. I could have said, Mitt, drop to your knees. He would have dropped to his knees. He was begging. Oh, here's another one. Go home to mom. Go home to mommy. And your mother is voting for Trump. She's voting for Trump. True. Oh, we have another one over here, another single. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Looks like a nice little guy, actually. Go home to mommy. Go home. Bye. Go home to mommy. Go home to mommy. Tell her to tuck you in bed. He's such a nice guy. Here's a woman. She makes a speech for 15 minutes. She goes home, goes to bed. Honestly, she has less energy than Jeb Bush. I admit it. I admit it. And the reason I bring him up, he didn't sign the pledge, so he's open game. So he signed the pledge, right? But he didn't honor it. How do you live with yourself, you know? A guy, nobody ever heard of this guy. I shouldn't even do this because I built up his name, but he's a real lightweight. His name is Bill Kristol. From day one, this poor guy, I watch him, but here's what I don't understand. Why do you keep putting a guy on television that's been proven to be wrong for so many years? First one of the shows the other day, Bill Kristol, he's got some magazine, I don't even know what the hell it is, and he's saying, oh, we're looking for another candidate. We're looking. He's sweating. I was with Donald Trump in 1980. I was sitting with him on an airplane. And he went after me on the plane. Yeah, I'm going to go after. Believe me, she would not be my first choice, that I can tell you. You don't know. That would not be my first choice.
And, you know, I don't grab him on the, you know, as they say, on the arm. And once said he grabbed me on the arm. And she's a porn star. Now, you know, this one that came out recently, he grabbed me, and he grabbed me on the arm. Oh, I'm sure she's never been grabbed before.
Would you rather have negotiate with Iran, Trump or Jeb? How about this? Trump or Hillary? Who is Uma married to? One of the great sleazebags of our time. Anthony Weiner. Did you know that? She's married to Anthony Weiner. You know, the little bing, 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 bum, bum. I love you very much. So, now think of it. So, Uma is getting classified secrets. She's married to Anthony Weiner, who's a perv. No, he is. He is. Okay, who's next? Yeah, please. Excuse me, sit down. You weren't called. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Go ahead. No, you don't. You haven't been called. Go back to Univision.
When you look back over the sweep of this campaign, going back to last June, is there anything you regret?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to have done certain things over, but you can't. You can't. But that's true in life. I'd love to have done in life certain things over, I guess. And you would have too.
Give me one.
You would have loved not to have contributed to the Clinton Foundation, as an example.
It's the one and only Digo Double G. Snoop Dogg. You know what happened with the D.R.E.
When she found out that there was a security camera and that they had her on tape, all of a sudden that story changed.
No,
she
that's
didn't
not true.
talk
She
about
says her story has remained exactly the same. She was
really?
knocked a little
Can
bit
I
off.
read this to you then,
yeah, that she was knocked off
Do you mind
balance,
if I
but
read
she
this
remained
to you?
standing.
Do you
go
mind
ahead.
if I read you her statement?
Yes, please.
I mean, give me a break. You know, the problem is everybody dumps people when there's like a sign of political incorrectness. I'm just going to read, if I can find it.
She said she was almost knocked off balance, but
she said she was almost knocked off balance, right? Here's what she said. You want to read it or you want me to do it? You're a professional announcer. Why don't you read it? The bottom part. The bottom. Now, that's an exact quote from her prior to seeing the cameras, and now she says, oh, I better change my story, I guess.
Again, you know, you probably won't put this part. I have great friendships with many people who are Muslim living in this building.
People who say you're taking time out of swing states to go do this, you say.
I say the following. You have been covering me for the last long time. I did yesterday 8 stops and 3 major speeches, and I've been doing this for weeks straight. I left there for an hour and a half. I'm going to North Carolina right now, then I'm going to Florida, I'm going up to New Hampshire. For you to ask me that question is actually very insulting, because Hillary Clinton does 1 stop and then she goes home and sleeps. And yet you'll ask me that question. I think it's a very rude question, to be honest with you.
15 days out from the election, you've been labeled a racist, you've been called a sexist. How do you respond to that?